Hi, my name is Lee. I'm a psychotechnologist and an entrepreneur. A psychotechnologist means that I study how technology affects our psychology and the way we interact with other people. I think innovation is a correct word to describe the Hebrew University. I think they're very much aware that we're in the midst of a revolution. The AI revolution is affecting everything, and they are well prepared for it. And they are preparing their students and the people who are working with them to be as flexible as possible for things to come. I believe it was the other way around. My innovation and the fact that I wanted to build a startup was the thing that um, moved me towards the Hebrew University. The story is that my brother studies in the Hebrew University. He is studying physics and mathematics, and through his connection, we got into the Hebrew University and 50/50 cohort. It was and it is still very, very much inspiring, and I'm so glad I have this opportunity. So 50/50 Startup actually have a collaboration with the UG. They're working together. The Hebrew University Innovation Center is basically giving everything you need to know as an entrepreneur, like how to create a pitch, how to do research, if you're meeting with investors, what it is that you need to know ahead. Things that are very important for someone like me, because I'm not coming from an entrepreneurship set of mind. I'm a psychotechnologist for over 20 years now. I have my own clinic. I mostly did psychology. I studied social work and psychology. I'm not from that world. So they take someone like me who have great ideas and they transform me to an actual entrepreneur that can sit in a meeting or sit with investors, sit with other people from the tech industry and actually talk to them and feel that I'm included. I'm a part of the conversation and I have something to offer. If in the past, um, being being an entrepreneur was something that is basically just I don't know if a boys club is the right word, but um, it was very inclusive for certain type of people who are very much technology wise, people who can do stuff that I can't. Now with AI and the way that Hebrew University is treating it, even people like me who it's just if you have an idea and you have passion and you want to change things, Hebrew University will help you open the doors and create what it is that you desire in the world, which is amazing. I was surprised and how well educated they are, how they're putting their finger on diversity, how it's very important to them to go to something like when we're filming it right now, we're in the middle of a war. And it's very sad and it's very hard, but you have to think about the future. The solution, I believe, and I think Hebrew University believes, and I think 50/50 believes, is through people, is through human beings, is through collaboration, is through doing stuff together. That is, I believe, an amazing mission. I feel it's a little bit like, there's the models who go to beauty contests and they say what it is that you inspire. And I'm inspired to create peace in the Middle East. And it sounds shallow, but it's not shallow because I believe this is what they're really doing. We are building bridges. We are giving hope to people. We are doing things that can inspire many, many people by example, not just by talking about it, but by actually connecting. And the fact that the Hebrew University is creating such a field for peace And for people from different sides to actually collaborate is amazing to me, especially now. I think you have to practice flexibility a lot, and because the world is changing as we speak, every day there is something innovative, but the things that never change is the spirit. And if you feel, in Hebrew there is a saying that you feel you have a father and a mother. I'll try to translate it to English, but it feels like someone got your back. Someone blow winds beneath your wings. And the Hebrew University does that. They made you feel that even if we are in a very hard or tough times at the moment, we're not standing alone. And they will help us create our dreams, and they will help us create a better future by actually being very, very here and now, and practical, not just talk, but actual meeting with people. Here I am, I'm in Canada. Before that, I was in Boston. I had talks in MIT, Harvard, Northeastern. I met with people from Google and from Facebook. They actually, and Microsoft, of course, they open a lot of doors for me that I would never open by myself, which is amazing. And I'm so grateful about this. And this is what being a part of some organization like Hebrew U means, not just to me, but for so many people like me that have a dream and didn't know how to approach it. Usually, if you want to know about your personality or if you know about someone else's personality, these days you take a test. And if you ever took one, it's really boring and it feels like a test. It doesn't feel natural. It's not fun at all. And it's basically based on you telling us about yourself. So, what we created is a game. And within the game, your actions will tell us a lot about your personality. Right now, we have a demo. We tried the demo for over, I think, almost 200 people. And it's amazing how accurate it is and how people enjoy doing it. We believe that for the new generation who doesn't like to be tested, but it is very important to them to be seen, that the way that we used to think about things, that everybody should be treated the same. Now we know it's not true. Different people need different approaches, and people want to feel like you see them and like they have a certain place and a certain conversation that is based on who they are. So our game actually helps doing that. Hopefully, we'll go to big companies and will help managers to know their employees better and to interact with them better in a fun way. I think fun is very important. One of the first things we learn is don't fall in love with your dream, which is sound a little bit silly because obviously we will fall in love in our idea. This is why we're doing it. Being a startup or creating a startup or being an entrepreneur is not easy. First of all, no one is paying you, which is sad because I love getting paid, but no one is paying me. So I have to live on my dream and inspiration. And you have to knock on many, many doors and you have to come with a lot of passion. So at first, when they told me, don't fall in love with your idea, it felt like a slogan. But while I was in the cohort, I changed so much. The application changed so much since we first imagined it. And I learned that change is good. Change is development. Change flexibility is something that is very, very important if you want to be in this world of innovation. And it's hard not to fall in love with your ideas, but you need to know how to shape them or reshape them to make them better. And it's a good thing. I come from a very a very good family. I have a good parents. I have a good mom, a good dad, very good dad. They're very liberal. I was sure that what it is that I'm doing, collaborating with Asil, which is a Palestinian who worked with me on my project. She's extremely smart. She knows 5 different languages. She speaks Mandarin and Indonesian, and she worked at Widget before. She's amazing. When I wrote a post about working with her, I thought that I will get nothing but praise. Like, it's amazing. I'm actually helping to communicate with someone who is Palestinian from the other side. We're creating something wonderful. But the reaction was not as I expected. The reaction was people wish for me to die. People wish for me to get injured. They told me I'm like a traitor. How can I, in the middle of a war, actually work with someone who is Palestinian? A very, very bad experience on my comment. It was my private comment. It wasn't something that I was expecting. It was people who were my friends or people that I know personally that wrote me very, very harsh things. Someone from 50/50 was gracious enough to actually go through the comments and help me answer. And there was many, many good response as well. I don't want to see that there were only bad response. There was many, many good ones. But they helped me answer the bad response, and they helped me think, how do I approach this? What should I do? How should I, go through this thing? Because I never experienced anything like it before. I never got like shamed online, and it's part of what they do. Expect the unexpected, and the fact that you feel you have someone on your corner, someone on your side, even in things they don't have to. It's not up to them whatsoever. They don't, it's not their responsibility what people write on my own Facebook wall. But they still took the responsibility, and they still got my back. And that was so inspiring to me to do above and beyond. Not just do the expected, but more than that. That's amazing. I'm so grateful. So our cohort flew to Boston uh, to meet with a lot of, potential investor, potential people, give lectures to students in different universities, and to actually immerse yourself within the innovation society in Boston. And one of the best meetings I have there was with someone who is originally Palestinian and someone else who also was a 50/50 alumni, who is Arab Israeli. And we became friends. We went for a game night and we were like laughing together, eating pizza together, playing a game together, making jokes together. And we're friends and we're still chatting. And when I even moved to New York, they were chatting with me, and we'll continue to be friends. And we had a conversation with another guy who is Palestinian who work at the Innovation Center, and he have the Palestinian flag, and he was talking about Free Palestine, and he said that he doesn't think that they wanted originally to build an innovation center in Israel as well, but because of the war, they're not thinking about it anymore because, And then I told him, you build bridges when they are something to be bridged. Boycotting Israel or boycotting Tel Aviv is not a solution. To imagine that Israel does not exist or Tel Aviv does not exist is not actually creating something that is good for the future. We need to interact more with each other and not interact less with each other. Like, for me, boycotting is not a solution to anything. We should do our best to communicate and to talk and to learn more about each other. This is the only way I know how to interact with people, how to create peace. There's a saying in Hebrew, you say, you create peace with enemies. You don't create peace with friends, because if someone is your friend, you don't need to, but to become friends or to create peace, you have to actually communicate. And if we're not doing that, and I think the Hebrew University is creating a field for people who would never meet otherwise. I'm very safely tucked at my Tel Aviv lifestyle, and they are very tucked on their own Palestinian or Arab Israeli lifestyle, even Arab Israelis or Palestinians who move across the ocean and live in United States right now. This is how we create friends, when we talk together, not by everyone in their own path. We need to collaborate as much as possible. And the Hebrew University doing everything in its possible way to actually create a place that we can meet, which is amazing. I think I already gave the advice, don't fall in love with your dream, but you have to come with a lot of passion. And I think you should emerge the power of diversity. Try to bring into your group people that are different from you. If you look at Israeli companies, a lot of the time you see that you build a company with your best friend for the army. You build a company with your best friend from high school. You build a company. It's much easier to build a company with someone who is like you, that we're like sharing the same values, the same ideas. 90% of entrepreneurs are men, and they work with other men. Especially in the universities, there are certain things that are more men oriented, like mathematics or physics. So most of the students you work with is men. So it's much easier to work with someone who is like you. So I think a good entrepreneur should challenge themselves and try to find partners or workers or people they're collaborating with that is totally different from their own. If you are a man, find a woman to collaborate with. If you are a woman, find, I don't know, someone who is gay to work with. If you're gay, find someone who is Jew Orthodox to work with. If you're Jew Orthodox, find someone who is Palestinian to work with. Challenge yourself and emerge in a society that is very different from what you're used to. Because I think we grow when we see other people's point of view and we immerse ourselves in sort of an environment that let us be inspired by our differences. Okay, there's two levels of success. There are the success that everyone knows, like if I hopefully get funded and I'll have money in the bank, that will be an amazing success. I don't know why, but I love money. And I love to be able to grow, and I love to be able to do things with the money to build my dream and to actually create the thing that I'm trying to establish. So this is like the basic level of success, something that you can easily see, touch, feel. And there is the emotional level of success, to be a good person, to inspire others, to help others, to be an inspiration, to learn, to grow. Let value lead the way, not just the money or the success, but who am I as a person? Not to let anything corrupt the way that I am, not to let hatred or fear lead the way. Just hope. Wow, I really sound like I'm on a beauty pageant, but I really mean it. It's from the heart. I do believe that there is so many bad news that we hear every day. And stories like mine are sadly just a few, and not a lot of people talk about it. But they should. They should talk about it. They should talk about innovation and inspiration and working together. Because I think if more people would hear about it, then more people, instead of looking at everything that is hard, try to think of everything that is possible, everything that could be, instead of everything that there is, which is right now not always as good as it could be.